Okay, X5 University. We're super excited to kick off December with just talking about those fundamentals and those things that matter. Maybe you're a brand new partner and maybe you've been around for a while. Y'all, the song's not going to change. The song is going to stay the same. There are certain things that we want to do, and we want to do them consistently in order to be successful. But before we start that, what we are going to do is we're going to say, how about that November? Whoa, incredible, incredible. So much like the Academy Awards, if I start going, and thank you too, and I want to give acknowledgement too, I am going to miss something and we don't even know all of it. So, what I want you to do is, I want you to go to the chat. If you know how to find that, if you click on your iPad or whatever you're on, you can see a little chat. And I want you to drop some wins. And then I'm going to try to watch them pop up. And so maybe it was a rank, maybe it was an X5, maybe you started your peptide therapy. Maybe you have a new partner. Maybe you just started and you're just glad you're here. Whatever it is, maybe you have started securing a trip. Maybe you hit extreme builder. There is a whole lot of stuff to celebrate for last month. So secured the Becky, first part of Utah. Best team for Nancy Mars since February. Congratulations. Debbie Hanks up 5,000 points from October and month one of a trip, which is one of the new ones. So we're super excited about that. Lisa just started XMD and she had a fabulous, somebody went live, X5 bonus for Casey, many new brand partners. Love that. Colleen started her peptide. So did Teresa. Love it, love it, love it. I am so excited. Carol was up from last month. I mean, all kinds of good stuff. I'm trying to look around here as I see Nancy started on her peptide journey. I know a lot of y'all started on your peptide journey. If that's a journey, that is for you. I can tell you it is a start. It is a journey for me, and it's changed everything. Stacey Ritello dropping some huge congrats to her team. Also started securing her trip to Dubai. So that is really exciting. I know Debbie Hanks is really excited about her peptide journey. She was a lot like me, or is a lot like me. She hit the menopause wall and she knows better what to do to help somebody than I do. Like, she is better at supplements, she's better at eating plan, and we were both stuck because our bodies didn't care. Our bodies didn't care what we knew. Okay. So this is such a game changer, y'all. And you can see that when you consider the month over month growth. We had six times the enrollments, six times the enrollments. Y'all, that's a lot of enrollments. We had like six figures up in team volume between Melissa and I. So that's huge, y'all. And so I'm so proud of you. I saw people showing up. I saw people plugging in. We've got new partners, and then we've got people that have been around, and we've got people that are going, I can't miss this. I've had a lot of life, and I had a great conversation with one of my very close partners. Just like the last 2 years, it's been a lot like me. She's had a lot of life that has happened with aging parents and some different things like that. But she is so excited, and she's so excited about her peptide journey and all the things. And so just want to give y'all a huge shout out. So many trips, so many things. So I am going to kick it over to Melissa, and she's going to start with the pre work and some questions for y'all, okay? Because we do want y'all to think X5. The X5 is the foundation of everything that we do. That is why this is called X5 University. We want to get serious about making sure that you know how to do that and what some regular things are. So, Melissa, why don't you take it away? And I will if you want me to pull up and share my screen and go to the board to the link, I'll be happy to do that. Just tell me, Melissa.
Okay, perfect. So, hey everybody. So, yes, X5. We want to help you understand and get started on really building a foundation for not only your business, but for your future. That's why we are the legacy builders, right? That's why we build legacy, is because we're not just here to help you make a dollar today. We want to help you make a dollar a year from now, right? And we know that there are some key activities that you do that actually are going to lead to you getting results. Jana has always taught that when you put in action and it's effective action, which is what we're going to be teaching you over the next few days, you will get results. And I can say that because I learned that from her when I worked with her in banking. So I'm really excited to share this with you guys because not only did we create some fabulous tools to go along with you, but we're just taking the steps that we have been doing when we did our Seen to Sold series earlier this year. And then also when we launched our Legacy Builder Launch Accelerator for you guys back in February. I mean, we're coming up to the end of the year. I can't believe it's already here. But when we did that, we did it with all of this in mind because we know that there are foundational actions and steps that you do every single day, every single week, every single month that you are putting in towards your business so that you have that success long term. And the reason why we know that is because we have also done them and we are still doing them because it's important that we understand, we're not just talking from the side. We know exactly what to do. And that's why I'm really excited about this. So, first thing first is on the X5, we have given you guys a quick little screenshot that we're going to be putting into a board. And the X5 is going to help you with breaking down what you're going to get to do every single month to make that money. So before I get into any details, I want to know from you, what is it that you want to learn, right? When it comes to your why, when it comes to your vision, when it comes to your goals, what is it that's important to you? And are those things that are important to you, how can we help them line up with what we have here with our X5? We're going to be able to help you connect the dots. So I see somebody says they want to work on their why and their goals. Well, we're going to help you do that. It's December 1st, and at the beginning of the month is a great time to reset goals. The way that our business works is that we are volume based. And so every single month, the volume goes to zero. At midnight, 12:01, at the end of November, it went back down. So we rebuild, but we rebuild with subscriptions. And so a lot of you woke up to volume this morning. Many people woke up to being even a manager this morning or being a director. That's what we want for you, that automatic reason we make it money volume, right? While you're sleeping. And then we will lay another layer in as we continue to have enrollments. Jana mentioned, enrollments were up 6 times. That's awesome. So now what are we going to do with those people? How are we going to love on them? So we're going to go into that. Okay, I see it somewhere else. Consistency, regenerating, regeneration, and Jana, you might, I don't know if you wanted to read any of these in a minute. But we are going to be able to help you guys look at this and help you work on creating that customer experience to grow my business. Follow up, tracking. I'm the queen of follow up, y'all. I can't wait to share that part with you, but you gotta stick around. You guys, we're not going to teach it to you all in one night. You got to be here for 3 nights as we do this. And so I'm excited to do this because we have prizes for participation. So share those goals that you have and share your why. We are going to start off, if you got the link to your landing page, you should have gotten it in a messenger chat. It also was posted in the Facebook groups announcing this. In that, there is a few different documents that we're going to touch on quickly tonight, but you should have already started on them. And the first thing is, yes, all of this is going to be recorded too, just so you guys know. But the first thing is it's asking you some different questions, right? And you need to think through your own why. Why are you building and who are you doing this for, right? Is there some, and by the end of Christmas, do you want to have all your Christmas paid for, right? You want to have to not use credit cards? That's why 11 years ago, I started really being focused in building because I started in October 2014 on these products. And in December of 2014, I thought, you know what? I can make enough money to pay cash for Christmas. And that's exactly what I did. I made around $1,500 that month. That was when I hit Gold Manager for the first time. Okay. So I think you guys can easily do that. So taking a quick assessment of this before and look at first and foremost, your Facebook and your social media, your Instagram. We're going to walk through that a little bit with your social media. And that's your initial storefront. Of course, you yourself are a walking billboard. You're going to have people talk to you as you make changes. That's why it's important, though, that you take your pictures and put them on social media, because when people see you melting away as you get on your peptide journey and such like that, like I'm looking at Missy Trujillo right now, she has done amazing, right? She's melted and changed. And so they're going to ask you what you're doing, right? So you have to update both, because they may notice something in person, but they don't want to say it. But if you say it yourself and announce it on social media, and especially in the way we're going to help you do it, then that's going to open up doors for conversations. But the next thing is our partner pre-work sheet. And so this is something to help you with really writing down those goals. Every single month, you should have a goal for new customers and new partners. And you want to work towards bringing on at least 5 new enrollments a month. That's what X5 is, with the volume of at least 600 points between those 5. But ideally, you want to get to 1,000 because you get extra money. Okay. And how do you do that? You talk to people about all the different products and you match what their pains are or what their needs could be to what we have and what we offer. So that also means you got to be using the products, right? You got to know a little bit about the products. And so that X5 is going to bring in an additional $400 on top of the commissions. $400, you guys. That pays for a car payment. Okay? That's huge. For some people, that pays their mortgage. All right? They say the average American just needs an extra $350 a month so that their mortgage doesn't go into foreclosure. This could be the answer for so many people. And the X5 is basically extra money because you still get your commissions on top of that. And so I want you to write out, what are those goals and why does it matter for you? Why does it matter for you to be able to help other people? And what would that mean if you do help someone, right? And I don't want you just to write down your friends and family. Think about people that are in the circles that you have, but maybe you don't always talk to them, right? But you've always admired them maybe from the side, right? Someone that you go to church with, someone that you serve on a community board with, another mom that is always at the events with the kids, things like that. And then I want you to write out what that would help you with accomplishing, and we're going to track them. Okay, everything that's recorded and reported grows exponentially. So that's why this you have this worksheet for you to be able to track your people. The other thing is, as we're going to do our social media posting, you're going to pay attention to who's liking your product or your posts, who's commenting on your posts. And if you don't have a lot of people liking and commenting on it, one, we probably need to change it up. You're going to learn ways to say things better with hooks, with calls to actions. But you also need to take a little bit of extra time and add friends on your social media. You need to take a little bit extra time, and before you just go put your post up, spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes engaging on other people's social media posts, going through your feed, not just to scroll to look, but go in and actually like something, go in and comment on something, go in and share their, you can share it to their stories, but don't share it to your wall. But go in and say something, actually find out about that person a little bit more, right? Spend some time engaging with people before you do your post and after you do your post. Because not only is that going to give you more people to connect with, but that's going to help the algorithm so that it will show to more people. And I can guarantee you that if people are just throwing up a post and they're not getting interaction, they're not doing some of these extra steps we're going to give you the insight on as you join us over the next few nights. The other thing is daily IPAs, which are income producing activities. How many of you guys have heard that acronym before? IPA, right? Well, a lot of us have, but we kind of got out of that habit of talking IPAs. We are just talking social media, social media, social media. But really what helps you at the end of the day, put that money in your pocket, is going to be those income producing activities. So that includes how many messages you're connecting with people. You do not really sell on your social media. You don't. You talk to people and you sell to them in the DMs. So tonight we're going to talk a lot about finding the people. Tomorrow night we're going to talk about actually having conversations with the people. And then on the third night, we're going to be talking about let's actually move them into closing with you and buying with you. And so go through these and keep track of how many times did you follow up with people? How many times did you post into your stories or your wall? And if you have an Instagram and a Facebook, post on both, right? And then how many conversations are you creating from your engagement? And then the fifth thing is a rhythm checklist because you've got to get into that consistency. And I know a lot of you guys have been around, but life happens. And so maybe you fell off a little bit. Well, that's why we're going to give you these ideas. And especially in the board that Jan is going to share with you, I wrote out content and social media posts for the next 6 days. They dive a little bit deeper. It's actually a framework for you. Yes, you can kind of copy paste, but you want to sound like you. That's what makes it authentic is you want to sound like yourself. So there's a more of a framework of what to say. But the very first thing is number zero. I numbered it later. Um, said zero because some may have to say this, some may not. Because if you haven't been posting for a while or you haven't been talking gut health or peptides or feeling better in your own skin or hormones or the things that we target, you're gonna have to say, oops, I'm sorry that I need to talk about this, right? If you have been talking about that, like a lot of you guys have, then we also have some other things for you to go ahead and keep saying and doing and hook people to conversate with them and things like that. And then, of course, you want to keep your mindset right. So taking the time to give yourself an affirmation, speak positive about yourself, speak positive about your posts. Don't spend your time scrolling to compare. Do not do that. Spend your time scrolling to connect. All right. So I'm going to pass it back over to Jana and let her kind of get you guys a little bit more direction and maybe share that board if you want to.
I will sure pull that up. So thank you, Melissa. So I'm going to screen share and I am going to go so that you can look at that link that I dropped in and we posted it everywhere. Cute grandkids. That's a 2-year-old picture. Okay, where did my board go when I want it? Because my phone is organized, my iPad is not. Okay, so let me get out of that. Okay, so this is what you have for, let me go back. Sorry, it's opening where I was at. Okay, so this is what you have. This is what Melissa was just talking about. This is the only link you need. In here, you are going to see all those things she talked about. You're going to have reminders for if you are just starting. This is a PDF that Stacy Ritello put together. It's what she has very successfully made sure that she hit Destination X every year that she's been here. By these are the first things that she has a new partner do. It doesn't matter what you teach them. If people won't get into action, y'all, we don't have anything to work with. You don't have anything to work with because you're not into action. So that's there. And then, of course, a reminder of if you needed the 21 plus day, like we teach the pillars, even some of the things that's layered in here is delivered daily for you to learn and do, not hoard up in your email. Okay. So the same link every night, but tonight's night one. So we're going to click there. And here's our night one tools. So you only need that one link. You don't need night one. It's all going to be there. The recording is going to be at the bottom of this once we have it later. Okay. So in here, this is all about social media. And I'm going to come back and talk about this. Boards was not cooperating with me the other day, so I couldn't slide things around. But first of all, y'all, you've got to get in your stories. So we're going to talk about stories. And there are some examples. And one of those examples is from Christina Stoltz. You definitely saw her name popping up everywhere. She's a social seller extraordinaire, #1 enroller, qualified for 3 trips this last month, and already has enrollments today. So she uses stories to connect, educate, bring value. And so when people want to buy, they know they're watching her stories. Same thing, like your sales stuff, your flyers. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this kindly and graciously, and you can do with this information what you want to, because you don't work for me. I don't work for you. That doesn't pay as well. Thank you, Jesus. Do not put flyers on your social media. You are killing your audience. They despise it. They feel sold to and not seen, and that's a big deal, y'all. So, but sometimes you can use them in your story to follow up. So this, when you click on this, this gives you examples, y'all. If you're not sure how to do things in your stories, if you click right here, see where that's got, you can tell that's a video. I am going to mock up using text, stickers, being able to put your link and things like that in stories. So this is all stuff that you can go back and look at. And then down at the bottom, you've got 3 different types of tools that you can use. And this is what Melissa was talking about. You have got examples that you can take and make it your own. You've got some key. And so what a hook and a call to action is, y'all, is a hook is the first line of your post, whether it is 3 lines or whether it's 30 lines. Your first line of your post dictates whether it's going to be read or not. So if it's about absolutely nothing, no one's going to read it. And so one of the best things you can do, there's lots of examples in these things for you to look at and say, okay, I'm going to plan out my social media for this week. I know I want to talk about team tomorrow, maybe team Tuesday. I'm going to look through here and I'm going to think of something that I can talk about, because that's how you sell your business, y'all. It's not by splashing checks all over the screen. It's by talking about what we're doing right now. In lots of places, the top leaders in the company, they won't get on a Zoom and they won't answer your questions. You're on your own. That is how you sell your business, y'all, because you're a part of something different. Okay. So all of those things matter. And so a hook is something, and we've got ideas in here where it says, this was something I didn't know before I found out, or I made these mistakes, or gosh, y'all, I just have to apologize. Something where people go, I wonder what she's about to say. If your first line doesn't make them go, I wonder what she's about to say. Y'all, ChatGPT is your best friend. You can't, like, no one can ever spoon feed you everything. So I'll just give y'all a real quick example. Okay, so I need to make a post. We had a gajillion rank advancements, all sorts of bonuses paid and things like that. And so I want to talk about team. I want to showcase the extraordinary work that people have done, and they're just everyday people. They're teachers and educators and stay-at-home moms and yoga people. I mean, they're all sorts. They're all walks of life. Some are in their 20s, and some are in their 30s, and some are in their 50s and 60s. And so I really want to talk about that. I want a strong hook that speaks to community. I want that to be the main thing about this post. This post is not about me. This post is about them. Then I want a call to action. All I want is, do they resonate with any of these stories that I shared? Like, is there something that made them go, man, I'm not asking them to join my team. I'm not asking them to raise their hand. I'm not trying to sell them. I'm trying to celebrate and create awareness. Y'all just talk to it. Just talk to it. All I did was brain dump. Okay. So that's how you can take some of our ideas and go to ChatGPT, because it starts to know you. Like, it knows I'm a middle-aged professional that has grandkids and has built a large team. Because also, you're going to see in this social media training, there's going to be a video on pillars. You cannot just talk about Xyngular on your social media, y'all. You've got to cover who you are. Is it faith? Is it family? Is it vacation? Is it holistic things? Is it biohacking? Is it dogs and cats? Like, whatever. Are you a horse person? Whatever the situation is, that's why they come. They go, I want to see what's going on in Stacy's life. I want to go see what's going on in Missy's life. Okay. And so so there's all these different tools. So I just want y'all to see this real quick. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing this real quick so I can go back. I like to be able to see y'all. Okay. So those are all the different kind of things. And then I'm going to get back to my little agenda, because I've got several things I want to talk about. And so in this post, it gave me a hook. It says, what if the thing you're missing isn't motivation, it's community? I don't like that. Not what I want. It's not, it doesn't do it for me. Okay. So I can tell you that would not do it for me. The next one, if I go down, it says, it gives me another option, but I'm going to say, I don't like the hook. It's too bland, And I definitely want it to be more emotional. I'm a very emotional driven person. I'm a relationship driven person. So it cannot be that vague. I am just going to talk to it because the grammar's going to be right, the punctuation is going to be right, and I didn't have to type it with my two thumbs. Y'all, I wouldn't be able to survive if all I used was these two thumbs. Can I get an amen, y'all? Anybody else out there that's like, thank you, Jesus, for some voice texting, some voice to text, which doesn't always listen? Y'all use your tools. Think smarter, not harder, okay? So it's going to come back and it's going to give me some other ones. If you've ever prayed for a circle that claps for you, lifts you, and believes in you before you believe in yourself, I found it. Boom. That's Jana Bullard. That's what I would say. I just didn't have to type it up. And sometimes I do say, I want to specifically say, we had X amount of this, we had X amount of this, we did X amount of this, but I want, so maybe I give it some more details. So this is your best friend. You take our framework and you utilize it to be sure it's you, okay? And then you make sure that you look at what hooks are. That just means grab attention. And then call to action. You want a call to action on every post. People think when they hear call to action, it means DM me. Actually, don't say DM me. Don't say, Facebook hates when you say DM me. It knows you're trying to sell stuff. It doesn't like it. It will start showing you to less people. It's drop an emoji or drop this word, like drop pep if you're wanting to know more about that, or drop a heart if like you just like you have a circle that, or tag a woman that celebrates you no matter what's going on in your life. That's a call to action. All I'm doing is asking you to engage in my post, not join my team, not buy my product. I'm just asking you to engage in my post. So people don't y'all think when you hear call to action, you're supposed to say DM me for my link, right? No, that's the opposite of what you're wanting to do. You're saying, I want you to interact with me. And every few days, do something that is only interactive. White lights on a Christmas tree, colored lights on a Christmas tree. Everybody got an opinion, y'all. Everybody's got an opinion on what kind of lights they like. Better yet, if it has your Christmas tree on it and you say, show me yours, we're going to have show and tell. I'll show you mine if you'll show me yours, right? People love to engage. And then that's where you get that opportunity to go and see who now is looking at you. You're watching your post, you're watching your likes, and you are watching your stories. The post you are not watching is your product, testimony, business post. Y'all, they're not going to touch it most of the time. That's not where you're looking for the eyes. You're looking for the Christmas tree eyes. You're looking for the one that says, when you share, if your circle doesn't clap for you, get a new circle all day, every day. If you just post that one thing, that a graphic says, if your circle doesn't clap for you, sister, you need a new circle. Can I get an amen? You're going to get amens. People are going to go, true story. Man, if your friends don't want you to win, if the people you're interacting, like those are things now you know. And then you watch your stories. You're watching to see who's looking at you. And then no, you go look at them. So I'm looking through and I'm like, okay, this Debbie. I like what I'm seeing on this Debbie. That's where you start moving into interactions that will put you in a place for conversations. Okay. So let me get back to the agenda because I want to be sure that I do not miss anything for y'all. So, okay. Okay. So in that, when you are, there's basically three things that you're looking to do when you're interacting. You are either looking who's commenting on you or you've got a list of people. Everybody have a list of people. Anybody have a chicken list? Anybody have I would love to have that girl on my team. I would love whatever. You will always have one. If you're new and you've not made one, make one. I know these people would love my products. She loves protein. She loves this. Da da da. This is my cousin. Her gut health has been a wreck forever. Whatever it is, I know people that are breathing air, and if they're breathing air, they can use one of our products. There's nothing that says that they can't. We're not just about weight. There's so much more, and you're going to even see that unfold in the peptide space. And then you've got I would love for them to be on my team. And I always say, because this never stops pertaining to you. is you have to have an ongoing. So as you are looking at it, are you always adding people so that when you get on social media, y'all, if you're doing this, just looking for people, what you're doing is wasting your time. That's just the average. Nothing's going on. Okay. All I'm doing is scrolling and then I end up going down a rabbit hole for a recipe. Okay. So you want to be very intentional. So I'm going to get on, I'm spending 15 minutes and I'm engaging with people on my list. And then what I'm doing is I am going to Carrie Castelli's Facebook page because I either want to recruit her, I know she'd love my products, we went to high school together, whatever, or she is someone that at one point in time asked me and now she's kind of ghosting me. Anybody ever been ghosted? Anybody that says on this Zoom, raise your hand if you've never been ghosted. I want to, I'm looking for liars. I'm looking for liars that have not one soul that has ever. I've got two that was on the phone with the other day, and they were supposed to put an order in, and they ghosted me for 5 days, y'all. If you don't have people ghosting you, you're not talking to enough people. Do not be ashamed. Okay, this is the high ghost club here. So now I am going to take. Okay, Debbie's been ghosting me. She didn't order. Carrie, I want to recruit. I am going to go and I'm going to say, oh my gosh, Debbie, you were on the road again. That's so exciting. I'm going to go just be a person. I am not following up with her. I am just going to go be a person. She's going to decide when she's going to stop ghosting me, y'all. You're never going to say the right thing. But if they don't know you're there and they think you've closed your doors, it's just like a boutique in town. You're not open most of the time. So when I get ready to go to town, guess where I'm not going? Guess where I'm not taking my friends? I'm not going to because I don't think you're going to be open. So guess what? That day when those problems that Melissa talked about, that we also have a list of those for y'all, you've got to talk about problems. People can't see them, they can't see their problems in your post. So I want you to get really, really good at that. When you're visible, you've got to be authentic. And if your post is all about, hey, I'm taking peptides or hey, I'm loving my protein, it's going in one ear and out the other, y'all. Okay. And so whether they're engaging in you, because remember, if you go and engage with them, you want them to come look at your content. That's why you've got to clean it up. Your profile picture's got to be recognizable. If you've shared every recipe in the last 13 days, they go, she's got nothing. She's got nothing done. You don't exist it to their world. Okay. So how you run your Facebook business, it matters so much because it's how they decide if they're going to join you. You're funny, you're entertaining. You teach me things that I didn't know that are kind of like hacks. Maybe I think about Lauren. She's a holistic health coach. Lots of the things that are actually on her page are free tips for ways to move your lymphatic system. They're just they're things that are in your cabinet that will help your body. They're not, hey, just buy my stuff. So you've got to be sure that you're doing that. So when they come back to look at you and you're interacting with them, have your post talked about the pain, what they're looking, and I can tell y'all, and I know Celia will give a big old amen in the chat about this. What, especially as we've moved into this peptide journey, and so many of us for the first time have said, I was in a bad place. And I've said several times the last 3 years, I've been in a bad place, but never as bare as I have been over the last 2 months. And the amount of people that say, every word you said, that is me every day. I'm miserable. I am miserable, or I'm not. I think about Taylor. Taylor Pugh was on here. She watched Stacy talk about energy, and she was a mom, a young mom, young with 3 young kids who had nothing left to parent, no care to parent. It was like having a job. But she kept seeing Stacy talk about how she used to not have energy and now she does, right? There's Taylor. Like, so she watched Stacy talk about pain and solution, not just a yellow capsule that's not yellow anymore, not just a bottle of zinc, not a billboard. And you can drop in the chat, Taylor, and confirm all that. She saw Stacy describe a mom that had no energy and was an educator and now does. And the day that Taylor could not take the mom she was anymore, it's called push comes to shove. You cannot change it. So when you feel bad about them ghosting you, you're just not saying the right things. So when push comes to shove, if the first word that doesn't come to their mind When they hit that wall and they go, Stacey Rotello, oh my God, I've got to have what she's got. Like I am not doing my kids a service. That girl is doing, she's a good mom now because of whatever these products. I've got to reach out to Stacey. Pain and solution, pain and solution. Skip the product altogether. Okay. Y'all, that's super, super important. It is what brings them to you, and it's actually what brings them to their knees. People do not buy on your facts. 20,000 reps, 24-hour service, you know, 503, whatever. They buy because you say, I had no energy, I had no mental clarity. I had hit a wall with menopause, nothing worked. I knew exactly what to do. Some days I didn't give a rat's patootie on how to do it, and I could not help myself. So, I mean, that's when they're going, yep, that's what I cried about yesterday. Women buy based on emotion. They either want to stop feeling bad or stop looking bad or stop feeling like a bad mother or a bad wife or a bad friend or a bad employee, or they want to become, I look better, I feel better, I feel like I'm better at work, my mental clarity's better, I feel like I can go for that job that I wasn't going before because my brain fog's lifted, I don't feel like a ditz anymore, whatever it is. See the words? At no point in time I named a product. How many of y'all feel like you do that 100% of the time? I am always talking pain and solution in my content on and inside my social media, right? Probably nobody can say that. So that's how important this is. So when you go through your tools to go through and pick out the things that you're going to learn and things that you're going to work on, if you've said, I get ghosted, because I was looking at things that y'all said, it hasn't struck a chord with them. Okay. So emotions are a huge catalyst. Okay, so let's go back to now. I've seen Debbie and I've seen Carrie, and I want to start, kind of interacting with them. So that's when you're always looking to congratulate. Whatever it is, congratulations on, getting your new boat. Congratulations on, I saw that y'all were on the road this week and y'all had a great Thanksgiving. Whatever it is, congratulate. I'm a firm believer on if you don't mean it, don't say it. So trust me, if I've ever given you a compliment, I meant it, because I will not fake compliment. I have a strict rule. I will bite my tongue or I'll figure it out, but I will not fake compliment somebody, not on social media and not for a sale and not to build up like, it's pointless, y'all, because they feel it. Okay. So as you're doing that, compliment, congratulate. One of the things I love is there's certain types of people that I'm attracted to. If they're travelers, like I see that they've been on a beach or anything like that. Anybody that wears this color, this is my favorite color. They seem to jump out at me a lot. Grandparents, professionals, like there's certain people, because that's who I am. So they jump out to me. Also, that they would probably resonate well with me. And so when I see that, I will on the post go, oh my gosh, I love that shirt or that dress or that blouse or those pants or those shoes, whatever the situation is. I love them. Blue is my favorite color. Blue is my favorite color. And lots of times they'll come back and they'll say, thank you so much. This is new, or, just whatever, right? So you're congratulating, you're complimenting. The rest of the conversation all happens in Messenger. If this is somebody I really want to interact with, I am going to go right over and I'm going to say, Celia, hey girl, hey, where'd you get, and I have asked this before, so I'm like, hey, where did you get that outfit that you had on? Like, true story. She can go, yep, I can witness, although I wasn't trying to recruit her on Facebook. She was my first partner 10 years ago, y'all. 10 years ago. 10 years ago. So, and actually 10 years ago, next month in January is when she hit manager. So that's major, major exciting. And so, but then I'd go and go, okay, like, do you have a link for it? Where did you get that? Is that recent? Because I really want that. And so that's where now you've had conversation on Facebook, but you go and you get into the meat of it in Messenger. I am not asking her if she wants to join my business. I am just having a conversation, just like if I was at a boutique or if I was at a restaurant. I would say the same thing to her. If I was walking by, I'd say, girl, I love that. I love that blouse. And if she's looking like she's real friendly, I'll say, where did you get it? Now, if they're looking like they're not friendly, I'm not going to ask much further because they're not my people. They're mean in a restaurant. So, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing. It is the exact same thing. It's the exact same skill set. I really want to know. I'm going to go ask you. Another is lots of times I'm looking for people in groups, groups that I like a travel group, a Hawaii group, not really retired, more empty nester groups, grandparent groups. I tried Chihuahua groups, but that's not good. I had a Chihuahua. I'm just going to tell you, there was not, I don't think there was anybody for me in the Chihuahua group. I don't know what that says about me, y'all, but I don't think there was anybody for me in the Chihuahua group. And then I'm in a pool group. Stacy Rotello and I, like, she put me onto that. It was a legit group. She's like, girl, you need in this group when I was building my pool. And so then I'm in a New York travel group because we went 2 years ago. So anytime I see anything about New York, especially somebody's going or planning something, I say, oh my gosh, I went 2 years ago for my first time, fell in love. So guess what? Now I'm going to go over to Messenger. I've looked at their Facebook and I'm like, okay, like this one doesn't look like a weirdo. I think I might want to interact with this person for customer or business. So now I'll go over to Messenger and say, I've got a Hawaii itinerary that I typed up. Like I would love, if you want it, I'd be happy to give it to you. It's even got some do's and don'ts as a first timer. Let me know and I'll drop it here for you. Whatever. Or I might even say that in their post and say, hey, I've got an itinerary. I would love to like send it to you. Lots of people have found it very helpful. I'll send it over in Messenger. I didn't drop it on the Facebook post. Does that make sense? So you are being social and then you're moving over. I love Hawaii, Kim. I love Maui. So those are the types of things. And then when you really do, you hone in and you're like, okay, this Carrie and this Debbie, this Celia, I really, really, you're interacting with them on a regular basis. You're involved in their lives and their comings and goings. And then we'll talk about conversations and stuff tomorrow night. Okay. We don't want to keep y'all forever. We don't want to give y'all too much. So what we want to do is you want to go in and you want to assess your social media. If you scroll like you got this much, if you don't have some good content there, they're not going to stop. So go look at it. If you have shared any recipes, cats, jokes, if you've done anybody else's share, you told social media, I have nothing. I'm boring. Go look at them. Go delete it. Go do an audit of your social media, clean it up, ask your sponsor for help. Say, hey, would you even look at this? Ask somebody else to audit it for you. Okay. So this is so important. Be sure your social media is open so that it is set to, not to private, not to friends. Can't think of what it's called, but it's got the world beside it. Because when your friend comments on your post, it puts it in their friends' feeds because they commented on a public post. Public was the word. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry. I went blank. I couldn't think of what it's called. So there's little things like that. And then add friends. Y'all had 400 friends when I started, and I knew every one of them, and I would have invited them in to sit down at the table. I was what I call a Facebook snob. If I don't know you, you don't know me. Why are you sending me a friend request? And if you do not want to carry a box around with overhead and do parties every night, this chick does not want to. That is not time freedom, and that is overhead. Then you got to get good at social selling. You got to get good at your content, but engaging in people, because if you don't engage, like if you're ever in a group and they say, hey, I want to follow for a follow, meaning I'll go follow you if you'll follow me. Y'all, if they're not your people, they're hurting your followers. Like you don't want a random follower. You want somebody that is in your demographic that you've engaged with. Like, so go and make friends. Melissa talked about this briefly earlier. And don't just do suggested, and don't go friend everybody in Xyngular, because then that becomes the only thing that you have. And most of us are tapped out. Like I have to decline your friend request because I don't even have room. And so all those things kind of matter. But go to the college friend that you had that now they live over in Delaware, because ain't nobody on product in Delaware, y'all. Go over and send friend requests to go very targeted. These are the type of women or men that I'm looking for. This is the pool that I'm going to go looking. So you're being very intentional. I know that this is our pastor. He used to be here. He's moved off. He's probably got great friends in Wisconsin where it's freezing, that, whatever the situation is. I'm going to go and kind of, see what's going on with that, and then look at people in groups. Okay. And so all of those things matter. So you're going to take an audit of your social media. You are going to go and you are going to look through the content and plan out a couple of things every day. Some of it are real ideas, but it has to be you. And if you're like, I don't even know how to do a reel, don't sweat it. Start with a live. Start with a live. Don't try to do a reel, but you've got to get into your stories. And how many of y'all don't know how to do a video in your stories? Do we have people that don't know how to do a video in their stories?
I saw a couple hands.
Okay, so I'm going to just very briefly, I'm going to go to Facebook, and I can't share this on here. So I'm going to go to Facebook. So y'all, if you have another device, go there. And at the top, it probably says stories. Okay, stories across the top and feed. You want to pay attention to your stories. You want to pay attention to other people's stories. This is where people buy. And so it says create story. Okay. And there's going to be some of this in that stuff that's loaded in your all of your tools so that you can digest them, because it's hard to listen to me and digest at the same time. Then you're going to go up here to the camera. Okay. Then you've got a little phone looking thing that you can turn it around, just like when you're turning your camera around. Am I taking it this way? Am I taking it that way? And then you're going to hold that button down. And so I'm going to hold this button down and say, oh my gosh, it's so dark outside. This lighting's really harsh. And I should have worked harder on my hair today. So I can say whatever I want to. You're going to see it roll around. There's like a little, like it's timing you almost. And you kind of know, or you can just go to your camera and do a video. I'm going to hold this button down and say, oh my gosh, it's so dark outside. This lighting's really harsh. So now I can either share or I can hit the arrow back and go discard that. So either way, whether you're doing it actually in your Facebook, or if you go to your camera roll and just do it there. But these are shorts, y'all. So if you go to your camera roll and do this 3-minute video, it's not going to go into your story and nobody's going to listen to it, period. Okay. If you feel like you have more than about a minute to 90 seconds to say, you want to go live. You still want to use a hook. You still want to do all those things. You still want to give it a title. If it doesn't say anything, no one's going to listen to it. Okay. So go do those. Everybody commit to get in their stories and do at least 2 lives this week. Okay. One of the best ways to show people how much you love your company and your products is to use your voice. Okay. Super, 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 super important. You will never be able to put in print the magnitude of what we're doing. Okay. So let me go back and look at this, and then I'm going to answer a few questions. Okay. And then we talked about pain points. Those are in there also. If you do not know the best pain points for your scenario, y'all get ChatGPT, hold down the button so you don't have to type it, and just talk to it. I call mine Chad, and just say, I am 56 years old. I have 4 grandkids. I am menopausal. I started struggling 3 years ago, tried to stick my head in the sands, went through some, just describe your situation, y'all. Just describe your situation and say, what would women that would be attracted to me, men, if that's your thing, whoever you're trying to onboard to your business, what would be the pain points in their life right now? Give me health, give me time, give me financial pain points based on my demographic. Then take that, don't spray it all at once. Now, salt and pepper, or let your story unfold. Maybe you talk about 2 problems one day. Maybe another day you talk about another one. Maybe you incorporate these. Maybe you talk about before I knew, now I have found. Okay. All those good kind of stuff. So go through, work on that, get active, right? And I know somebody asked earlier, I saw it pop up about how do you track people that you're interacting? Y'all, if I'm not serious about them, I don't write them down. If I am serious about them, I write them down so that I can follow them up. And this goes back to what Melissa was talking about tracking earlier. Y'all, it does not matter what IPA checklist you use. We could create another one. We could go back. We could do anything in the world. We could go ask somebody from another company. All that matters is that you are consistent, period, end of discussion. And that you're not just only posting some GIF on Facebook and you think you worked your business. If there's not follow ups involved, if there's not conversations involved, if there's not content involved, if there's none of that involved, we haven't worked our business today. So we gotta just look at our list honestly and then be consistent with it. When it comes to a list of where you want to keep your people, y'all, you can do something like Teamsy. You don't have to do that. Most people, if you're starting out, if you will just religiously, which means constantly, not from time to time, if you'll just commit to something, and if you see somebody that you think has a better idea, and you'll put your blinders on and go, my notebook is working great. I know where Delphi's at. I know where Heather's at. I know where Kim's at. I don't need to know what Debbie's doing with her book because I've got something that's working for me. People spend so much time thinking that there's an answer that's going to save them, y'all, that they never actually work. And if you don't know me very well, it's going to be funny sometimes. Sometimes it's going to be harsh, but it's always honest. I mean, every word I just said. Okay. All right. Let me look at a few comments. I think, Melissa, have you been going through and kind of answering some of
Yes.
these?
And so some
Okay.
of my questions we've been getting are like, is it important to do a live in my stories every day? I honestly think yes. If you want to create kind of a following and you're telling a story, even if it's the story of your crazy busy life, I mean, think about the people that you go to their wall. Why do you go to their wall? A lot of us follow Robin. We go to Robin's because she's funny, right? And she has some of those things that she says all the time about why she can't have nice things. And then she shows you her kids running the ATV into the water and she has to take it out with them, stuff like that. So you do that so that people will come and see what's going on. It also creates
Um,
following and it gets more eyes on our stuff. I mean, believe it or not, we are not the only ones out there in the world.
yes, I
There are
love
a
it.
lot of
And I
people.
know we've answered. I know Casey asked if lives still disappear. They do disappear after 30 days. But y'all, if it's not like a major message, no one's going back 6 months to look at your live anyway. So don't sweat stuff like that. If you can do live in your story, and it doesn't say live, it's a video. So when we say go live in your story, people think they're looking for a live button. You're not looking for a live button. It just means I am live right now. If I turn so I am live right now. Now I'm not. See how my picture, that's not me. I'm not live. It's just a picture. It's a graphic. Okay. So when we say live in your story, that's just you know, jargon. And so say, what do you mean? Lots of people say, I can't find the live button. Um, and let me see. Was there something else that seemed to be a little bit of a anything that really stuck out, Melissa, that would is probably a very common. Okay,
Oh,
groups are hard to keep up with. Let me go back because I did see Star. I saw that pop up earlier when I was talking, and these 3 nights are going to be a little bit different than our 30-minute Monday night. Okay, um, is when I say groups. One. This is a blanket business statement. Please don't join everybody's groups. You're going to be so distracted. Like you're never going to work your business because you think another leader has a better idea. Y'all got it pretty darn good, people. Y'all got it pretty darn good. Okay. So what people do is they're like, well, so and so said something about this. Y'all, I'm not even in lots of groups. I don't need the information. I can't handle it. Right. So when I talk about groups, like if you've got something you really, really love, like we'll say if the Chihuahua group worked out, or maybe I was a dog breeder, like Lori's a dog, they breed dogs. Man, you need to be in dog breeding groups. One, you're looking for clients, you're looking for tips, you're kind of networking. Like, don't have it just something that bores you to tears. Like, it's all that good kind of stuff, right? And so then just know that I've got maybe if you work your IPs IAPs every day, put it on your list. I'm going to work in groups, and I always want to be sure it's this group, and this group. Okay, like make yourself a note. This is where I'm going to work, whatever it is. Be intentional. What we do is intentional. If you're doing this, y'all, you are so wasting your mind. You're wasting your life. Your eyes are like just it's not productive. It's not a good use of your time. And now your family says you're on your phone all the time. Well, you could have done this. You didn't even need to do it because it's not an IPA, right? So be very specific. time block things off. And so if it's, I know I need to work in groups, these are my 3 groups I'm focused on. Because remember, when you're in there and you're either adding value, like maybe you've made a great tip, maybe it's a recipe group, whatever, or maybe you've asked a question, or maybe you're looking for a good post and you're going through and saying, oh, yeah, like this is kind of what I do on this. Maybe you're just giving some free advice. I do that a lot in business entrepreneur groups, but I can tell you they're all people like us. So, or they're VAs wanting to sell services. So you have to remember that. You have to really be looking for the right kind of person. So don't feel like you're trying to do 15. So that was I think that's such a valuable question, Star. So I wanted to come back to that one. And be targeted with that, because then when you're interacting, it starts popping up on your Facebook. Y'all, it's the same thing. If you use a testimony group, or maybe your customer group is more public, or you've got people that you want them to kind of see what's going on here in your community, like our Beautifully Biohacked. If you never touch it, your friends never see it. Okay. It's kind of like, y'all remember the old bus driving lessons. If y'all ever went to those, if you can't see the bus driver's eyes or the person driving the car, they can't see you. I want you to think about your social media like that. If you can't see their eyes, they cannot see yours, which means you're irrelevant in their world. You're just hoping they buy. They don't even know you exist. Okay. So all of these little things matter. So if you're very intentional and you work a power hour, maybe you work. So every night from 7 to 8, we've done dishes, we've done whatever, but I really want to hit these goals. We're going into weight loss season. We just had the biggest month in almost 2 years, people. New people, old people coming back, customers, like partners, all this kind of stuff. We if you're not intentional, you are not going to continue to ride that wave. And we're going into weight loss season and we're dropping more peptides. This is epic. Can everybody drop epic in the chat real quick? Okay, so be sure you're doing those things. We want you to be super successful. I will drop this recording later in the link. You will have it. You can go back through it. You can do all that good kind of jazz. You've got the link with all the tools. Tomorrow night, it'll have night 1, and then it'll have a bubble that says night 2, and then on night 3, it'll have a bubble that says night 3. So everything is in this one place, y'all. So one thing that you took away tonight, and Melissa, I'll grab a prize person tonight. Why don't you grab tomorrow night?
Perfect.
Okay. Y'all start dropping one thing you took away tonight, and I am going to get the prize. I'll show you what it is. Okay. One thing you took away tonight. One thing you took away tonight. Oh, epic. I've got a lot of epic. You need more than an hour. Work more than an hour. Absolutely. Do pain and solution. Talk more in stories. Importance of being intentional. All these kind of things. So y'all keep doing that. Then I'm going to roll and scroll. So what you are going to get is this.
Hydro cup.
Well, it is actually a blender in the bottom. So it's a cup with a built-in blender, and you plug it, and it doesn't have to be plugged in, like you keep it charged. And so this is a blender cup. You can do your clear protein. You can do whatever you want to in it. So now I'm going to scroll, and I'm going to stop on a name. Okay. No. All right. Heather Moore.
Woo!
Heather Moore, you are our winner. So text me your address. I don't have to look it up. It'll just save me time.
Well, and I just want you guys to do this as we close. Okay? Picture this. Like, take a minute, like put your stuff down and just take a minute and think about 90 days from now. You've gotten through Christmas, gotten through New Year's, you've passed Valentine's Day, and you're fixing to get into spring, right? Good weather. Think about, how do you want to feel? Where do you want to be? You know, what do you want to look like when you get those summer shorts out, right? A lot of that comes down to consistency. But then think about your business and think about backwards. Think about the people that you could help. Think about, maybe there's someone that you know right now that is really struggling financially. Maybe it's even someone of one of your own family members or something like that. And you're like, I really wish I had that extra, that I could just go and help them with that. or I could anonymously do that for them, right? Maybe you have a friend that is going through something, a medical challenge, and you think about where that could be. And so picture it backwards because the work and the stuff that you put in today is going to get you there. But if you don't picture it or envision what it's like or where you're at or what it could be, then we won't get there. And I was talking to Kala yesterday. We had a great conversation, and she said, Melissa, we've already been there in so many things. Maybe you've flown back, but you've already been there. You already know that road. You've already been there. But guess what? We've got new tools, new things, better things to get us to the next step and the next step. And all you got to have is have that faith. And it's not the amount of faith, it's just who are you putting your faith in, right? So I want you to kind of do that when you stop and pause and do your 90-day plan and work backwards.
Amen. Absolutely. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. We're going to let y'all go. We've given y'all a whole hour worth of information tonight and all the things, and we're so excited. And we'll see y'all back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Same link, same bat channel, same bat time. Bye, y'all.